Hello, hello, hello. How you doing today? Welcome to the Power of Legacy podcast with Stephanie Monique Jackson. Join us for a conversation where others and their families are sharing how they are exercising their power while improving and maintaining their mental health. Hello. How you doing today? My name is Queen Savannah Sunshine, and I am here with my friend Ashlee Phillips on the Power of Legacy show with Queen Savannah Sunshine and my friend Ashlee Phillips. Yeah. Man, because every nigga deserves therapy. I know you see her shirt, that
Every
sweatshirt. Come on.
deserves therapy. Like, you deserve to have your mind right,
Mm-hmm.
sifted through and sorted out and talked about and shared and let go of, right?
Exactly. And this is the space just to do that. Because
Facts.
here we are creating a space for families to reclaim their power while maintaining their mental health. What is mental health? It's the state of your physical, your emotional, and social well-being. Like how you interact with yourself, how you interact with other people, how you interact with your families. And that's the big part. Because if we are to build a legacy, and not only build a legacy, but when we look back to the legacy of our ancestors, that Sankofa information, taking back, looking back and taking what you got from the past and bringing it into the future so that you can make different decisions. That's part of breaking generational curses, healing generational trauma, because we are not the things that we have been through, because we have power, regardless of when our power was taken from us. The chains must be broken. The chains must be broken in order to experience that generational healing. It's like doing something different, right? Doing something different.
What's it say? It's honoring history while challenging tradition. That's how legacy continues to change and grow and to expand. Because I'm honoring the history, so I'm honoring the ones before me. I'm honoring and I'm paying respect to the decisions they made, the choices they made, the action they put in, the effort they put in, the time they put in, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. But I'm also challenging it too, because some things they may have served them in their time, but ain't no way they can serve me right now, right? And if I'm really trying to get us to where we're going and get myself to where I'm going, in the midst of it, I gotta know when to let go. I gotta know when to readapt, to you know what I'm saying, to readjust, to reassess, right? Not in this, and it never has to be in disrespect to what once was, right? Because to what once was is the only reason why I'm here now, type thing. So facts. Sankofa in full effect, but also onward and upward forever.
And you ain't, it doesn't have, like we were talking earlier, you said it don't have to take
long. Listen, my daddy put the realest gem on me today. And he was just like, you can't spend too much time figuring it out. And that's what legacy is, right? That's where ancestrals and the ones before you and homage and passing down and generational wealth, knowledge, wisdom, insight, courage, whatever, right? That's where that comes from, is because at one point in time, somebody figured it out, right? So if my granny figured it out, and then she taught it to her daughter, which is my auntie, and then my auntie started implementing it, eventually that means the ones after them, like I said, get to relish in it, which means I get to enjoy, I get to see the fruits of the labor. And so for me, that looks present day like being in an area that is becoming gentrified and knowing I got a kept secret of man, we own that property over there. So I find myself in a rare spot. Like, no, this is ours. This is mine because of somebody figuring it out and then implementing it. AKA legacy building, way before it became a buzzword or trendy, right? Like, really to the heart of the matter was like, nah, I got to make sure mine's got something. Whatever I may have to give up, right? Which was a lot. Man. Yeah. Yeah, this
Giving
legacy
up a lot.
joke.
Giving up a lot, but guess what? Today is a new day. Every time you have
Yep.
breath in your body.
For real.
And in those moments when you feel like you can't.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you take that inhale, you got to hold it. You have to affirm yourself and who you want to be, who you want to be, and who you already are.
Who you want to be, I already am.
Who I want to be, who you want to be, you already are. Who
Literally.
you want to be, you already are.
It's in you, it's not on you.
Hello, this is a mental health show, right? And we have to retrain our brains.
Yeah.
Have to retrain our brains so that we can act differently. Because once you learn something, I'm a teacher by trade. And what I've told my students today, once you know something, you need to act as if you know it. Help me say less to you. Help you say less to yourself so that you can continue to do the things that you have to do. Because time is money. Money is time. Time is something that you can get back.
What my daddy just say? He said, you have to use your time. Don't let time use you.
Listen, guys, y'all need to be, if y'all don't have pen and paper when you come to the table, you not prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
So
right. So look, we talking about grace and stuff, right? And we talking about people being able to know better so they can do better, right? So go ahead and grab the piece of paper and pen. Like, make that a habit. I always walk around with the intent. I'm always seeking without ever having to do the most. I always walk around with the intent that something's going to inspire me. Something's going to remind me. Something's going to affirm me. Whether it's an angel number, whether it's a song, whether it's a conversation, or whether it's somebody coming in into your space in a conversation and taking the exact thoughts out your head and saying it very crystal clear for you. You can't never miss it. If you're intentionally looking for it, and if you know that, like, I'm seeking this out because I want it to be me and to become me, man, this shit gonna stay knocking.
He's knocking, knock. Hello.
You can't miss it even if you tried. But why would you ever try to miss it?
Why would you ever try to miss it? Why would you ever try to miss it? Because the things that you already prayed for, it's yes and amen.
Because thoughts and imposter syndrome and self-doubt and outside noise and outside interference and social media and fucking FOMO, excuse me, my language, FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, a lot of unnecessary, a lot of outside perspectives and projection going on. Like, man, this stuff is you versus you always.
You versus you always. Like, always.
To me, legacy is a marathon. Some of my people's already did their part. It's my turn. And can't nobody tell me how to operate my turn. And again, it's not being disrespectful because I'm honoring the shit out of mine. But I'm going to challenge some stuff too, though. Because I know what I know. And I know it to be true. Because it's in me, it's not on me. So I must operate in that. Right? And operating in that means talking it, doing it, feeling it, seeing it, sharing it. Like, it's so many things.
Yes. And the thing
mental is,
man, Ashlee. Thrifting with Ashlee. Come on, listen, man. You taking you thrift knowledge. Not only do you thrift, tell us who you are, ma'am. Tell us who you are.
If you think about what it means to even be thrifty, right? Matter of fact, let's just look up the definition, because I like to be intentional with my words. What is it? The 4 agreements? Be impeccable with your words.
Hello.
And I am.
So right now we're talking about how we spend our time. That's what we've already been talking about.
Listen, it's for a person to use their money and other resources carefully and not wastefully. To use my resources carefully and not wastefully. My legacy is a resource. My legacy is a resource. My history is a resource. And so in understanding that, I use that to discover new sources, right? Like, that's the point. To expansion, to increase my territory. Literally and metaphorically, you know what I mean? Like, but it literally starts with your mind. So yes, thrift and knowledge. Like, I am careful and not wasteful with my words, with my energy, with the grace I show people. Like with every endeavor I've ever done and will continue to do, I know it's gonna play something on somebody. That's just what it is, right? No matter what that looks like, whether that's clothes, whether that's freaking, showing up in these spaces, having conversations, when it's gonna be my nonprofit, when it's gonna be, my art therapy clinic, like when it's gonna be those things, it's the point is always to place something on somebody. Cause I come with something to give, right?
Abundantly.
Like that's just abundantly and thriftfully. What? Because I understand accessibility and always. It's not always. It's not a guarantee. It's not always a part of the picture, and they want to always leave that out.
You can't. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about the Power of 5 legacy building from my book, The Power of 5. Reclaiming your power after COVID, racial injustice, and beyond. So now that we are living in a time where things are different because of COVID, things are different because of racial injustice and everything that comes with it as it continues to live on unnecessarily. And we have to teach our children and each other how to reclaim your power. Because in the moments when you got all of these things going on, we have talked about a lot in these first 15 minutes.
A lot.
And sometimes you have to breathe through it all, because making change is not going to be easy. Making change is not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. And you said it starts with your words and your mindset, what you think you are. Yeah. And in order to build a powerful legacy, having foundational principles, right? Things you just stand by. Give me your top 3.
Top 3 principles that I stand by. I would say transparency. Communication seems so general, but I would just say communication, and then I guess transparency, communication, and willingness. Definitely willingness, because if I don't got the will, then there's literally no way. because they say where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And so if I'm willing to communicate and if I'm willing to be transparent in my communication, then everything else that I need is on the other side of those.
Everything you need is on the other side of those.
Because I've said it very clearly, very intentionally, very plainly, and very honestly, which is what transparency is. Clear, concise, effective, truthful. Like there is full transparency. Nothing is, you know what I mean? Like it's what it is. And so if I always operate in that, especially with my needs, and especially if you're talking about your mind, and especially as it pertains to legacy, like you only as good as you feel and as you actually really are. And so I could talk about being a legacy in the making or continuing this legacy building, but if my mind don't look like it's of a legend, if my body don't feel like it's of a legend, you know what I mean? Like then what am I really doing?
What are you really doing?
Am I just saying it because it sounds good, or am I actively being in it?
So what's an affirmation that you so based on the book, anybody who has the power of 5, you also have the opportunity to be a guest on the show. All you have to do is go to page 27 in the text, and fill those questions out, ponder them, talk to your children about them if you have young children or teenagers, because we need to sometimes just collect ourselves after we have been through a lot these past 3 years, and sometimes, and for some people, it may be even longer that you've been going through. So what kind of affirmations would you give our listeners in order to help them spend their time?
Okay, I am using my time purposefully. I will use my time purposely. I must use my time purposefully. And I use those. One, I'm a very big believer on I can, I will, I must. It's very vital to me, right? Because one, it lets me know first and foremost that since I'm the source, like I have to affirm self, like self, yes, you can do this. And then since you know you can, that means you will, because you have the willpower and the strength and the ability and the knowledge and the understanding to do it. And then it's a must because we know the purpose. And if these actions and these intentions and these words are full of purpose, then it must be done in order to, you know what I'm saying, to complete the purpose, right? And to operate in purpose. So it's definitely, it's just super vital that I always just remind myself, and in the gentlest of ways too, though, right? Like it doesn't always have to be, like you're not out here handling your business and you could be doing better. Like if you was wasting your time, okay, like acknowledge that, and then be like, now come on, self. Like let's not. Remember when you asked me, when do you find yourself reading? When I want to scroll.
Right? Changing your habits.
Okay. And so it's I lost what you said. What you saying?
No, you were saying so you were like, when I asked you when do you read? You said,
oh yeah, and I said I read when I usually want to scroll, and that was my honest answer, because it's one of those, that's what giving myself grace looks like, because that's clearly a moment where I'm just wasting time. And that doesn't, let's be very clear, because that doesn't mean filling your time up with just constant, like seeking and pouring in and shit, because that can be overwhelming. But it's just like making sure you're spending it wisely. And if I know that scrolling, I being on Netflix, I Peacock and Hulu and all this other stuff, it's not me using my time wisely. It's like, man, let me go ahead and pick up all these books, or pick up one of these books. Right. So instead of catching up on a show or being on my, watching people's stories, let me just read this chapter real quick. And then let me just read it out loud, right? Because then maybe that adds a special effect, right? Since if I gotta hear something, let me read the book to myself out loud, like I would a child. Let me read the book to myself out loud.
I love doing that.
Here it is, and then it's like, oh, now let me go get a highlighter, because I'm a highlighter, a page creaser. Let me hold on, because now I'm on to something, right? I'm on to something.
Listen, and I'm gonna be honest. When I read books, I like to write in them. I like to write notes. I like to circle words. If it's a word that I don't know, I'm about to look it up. And I'm gonna put.
Because now I got a new words folder in my phone. And I've learned so many new words, especially from reading Bell Hooks. She don't put me on the game. She don't put me on the game all about love. Like, so now think about that. So if I learn, let me pull one up. So if I learn the word, where are we at? New words.
This is exciting.
So if
go ahead.
I believe you pronounce it consummate, right? Mm-hmm. Showing a high degree of skill and flair, complete or perfect. Mm. And so it's just like even that, it's just like now I'm giving myself the space and opportunity to implement things that are going to make my actions even more powerful, right? Because if we understand the impeccability of your word, like I said, be impeccable with your word. If we understand the importance of just thinking it is the first thing, and then saying it is the second thing. If we understand that, then it's like, oh, now I got new words to think with. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Literally, now I have new words to think, new thoughts with. Now I get to put some shit in some even bigger perspective. Like, so now we can go from I wish I was more patient to I'm allowed to show myself more grace in moments that used to require me to have a sense of urgency, right? Or, you know, like you start to get more specific, right? And then understanding what it is that you really need to remove off yourself or put onto yourself. And so it's just like, read that book out loud. Treat it like it's a reading circle or something.
I love it.
Age.
I love it. And then, so the next question in the book is, how will you or do you spend your money? You can spend your money on buying books. And you know, I like to be, again, that transparency is my jam. So frugal friend over here, right? Like just even being mindful, you know, like with just the times and the spaces that you're in. It's like, it can be, I got an Amazon cart right now, or an Amazon book shopping tab, right? Whatever it's called, like a list. And so it's like 30 plus books. I can't buy all those books right now, but it's just one of those, even when I think of it, and I feel like it's the answer to your question, but it may not be typically how people will see, but like, okay, let me go to the library and get the book then. Because now when I'm in the library, I don't have to spend money. I'm allowing this thing to be still given to me. I'm still pouring into myself and getting the game I need in a resourceful way that fits me. Right. That allows, you know what I'm saying, maybe me to spend my money on something else that is not saying it's more important, but that's just the facts of the nature. Like you have to, if you want it, you'll go get it. So it's like, now I can go to the library. And then when I go to the library, now I done ran into some other stuff because I didn't even know about it, because now I'm in a space where it's similar things to what I was seeking, right? And so now I done messed around and got more. Versus if I just would have ordered, you know what I'm saying, that one book, right? So it's just one of those, just being mindful again of showing yourself grace of where you're at to get what you need, because you know you can't just go and sit and I don't know, like it's self-care is not supposed to be expensive. I don't think legacy building is supposed to be expensive. I think it's inexpensive because it's priceless. Because if I got somebody who, was born in 1950 and had a first kid at 13, and she knew that she was supposed to own property. Your granny. Come on. In 2023, I know that I can take my tail onto this library, get this book, get it in, get what I need to know, and then repeat. And go do something. You know what I mean? Like go do something with it. Because it's literally priceless. Because the fact that I even have the idea to know how to go and get it, even if it doesn't look like the normal way to go and get it, I still went and got it. So I'm still getting what it is that I need, which is the whole point. Exactly. So even thinking back to how before our ancestors, enslaved people had, if they were caught reading, they could be killed. They said, and the saying is that if you put it between a book, Black people won't read it. Right. And I'm coming for all of it. What you mean? A book is going to be my first reference. My first reference. A book is going to be my first reference because it's one of those, it allows me to
to get new information, but I still am able to shape it and apply it in my own understanding. You know what I mean? Because that's the point of perspective. So yes, they're sharing this perspective and this knowledge and this insight with me, but it's still up to me and me alone to choose how to adapt it in the way that I need to adapt it to fit it to my life. Like it's, come on, The Power of Five. I'm questioning that book. Put the book up. Let's see the book again, because and what you've been seeing, in case y'all just now tuning in, if you ain't got the power of five, reclaiming your power, reclaiming your time, reclaiming your grace, reclaiming your space, reclaiming everything that's in between after COVID-19, racial injustice, and all the other BS they keep trying to put on us, you tripping. You need the power of five.
You need the power of five. And the power of five, and you know what? I skipped it. It is. It is.
The conversation starter. It makes them having those uncomfortable conversations or real talk, not even uncomfortable. People don't even know they should be talking about it.
Yes.
How can you think a thought if you didn't even know the thought existed?
Like what?
Come here, let me plant it on you. And then you get to water it and seek it through and see how you allow it to grow in your life, right? Manifestation. Come, you better stop playing. You know, I'm gonna get started.
Listen, you're talking, you have covered like so many of the questions that are already in the book. And it's like, why go through all of the questions? You know what I'm saying? Because and the thing is, Ashlee Phillips, Thrifting with Ashlee. I mean, she's not only does she's thrifting these words, honey. She's thrifting these clothes, she's thrifting this knowledge, and she's dropping gems on the day.
She's thrifting these exhibits. Art is inexpensive. Hell, we in all the spaces. What are you saying? Because my memory is priceless. My vision is priceless. My gaze is priceless. Y'all ain't touching us. They are not touching us. COVID-19 showed just how untouchable and unfuckwittable Black people really are. Yeah, exactly. Y'all can't cut in our business. Yeah, and we in the business. Y'all can't cut in our business, and we in the business of legacy, because we legacy business on these businesses.
On these businesses, because we collaborate. Okay. Listen,
come on.
Listen, talk about Kwanzaa, the Nguzo Saba principles. Listen, y'all keep listening to this show, because we're going to talk about using the Kwanzaa principles, which is also helping you to reclaim your power, not just at the end of the year going into the new year, but 365 days of the year. If you use the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba of Kwanzaa, I'm telling you, you are going to be leaving a legacy on purpose. Ooh. So that you can relish in it. I get to relish in the power of my legacy.
I get to relish in the power of my legacy.
Yes. And take a breath on that. Yeah. Yes. So listen, I hope that you are dropping some gems. I hope you're picking up these gems that are being dropped. And I'm even rushing this because I feel like an hour isn't enough time. But guess what? You can come back next week. You can come back next week. Talking about, I didn't get to finish telling you about my earrings, because I'm all about collaboration. These earrings are by CT Collections that can also be found. Her name is Carol Trow. You can also find her at Roots 101 African American Museum here in Louisville, Kentucky, where I reside. And listen, you better get you some. And then this painting back here is by Charles Rice of Louisville, Kentucky. And it's all about collaborating. And you collaborate with other families and other people in order to help them reclaim their legacy, Candy, because you've put me on Hope Eternally LLC. You have put me on so many times. You've worked with the Speed Art Museum. Listen, how was that collaboration?
It was very interesting. It was very interesting. I think that it was it was interesting to see just how much people don't realize that like art is like within us. Because you know how they say, art imitates life, life does not imitate art. So it already had to be in order for it to be created, if that makes sense, right? And so just even thinking about how I'm using the element of art, as it pertains to mental health, right? That's what my whole entire residency was mental health minute, and really just being in a space that was intentional about like, now let's really dig into this thing. Like, what does this really look like for us? What does this sound like for us? What does this feel like for us? And let's actually create tangible items that are a reflection of the very things that we may usually keep tucked off, right?
Okay.
In the very backs when they should be at the forefront. So it was very interesting to see just even really how receptive people are when it comes to art and healing, because that's what's happening,
Yes.
right? Right? Like even thinking about your the picture in the back or those earrings, like those are just completely two different forms of art and creativity, and what they bring, because look at you,
And
the
they
earrings,
bring me joy. They bring
because
me
you
joy.
compliment, you feel good in them, you look good in them, because they
Yeah.
bomb on you, right? So that's pouring into that element. But then the peace in your home, that brings a certain energy to your home. That brings a certain reminder again to yourself of like, look at you. Because you're worthy of being painted, because you a whole picture worth a million words, right? And so it's just one of those things where it's like, man, if it's, whew, we just be needing the outlets. We just need to be needing the outlets. So yes, collaboration with families. Let me collaborate with you on your gift and your gift and your gift alone, and let you operate fully in that, and let it bless me and let it gift me. I don't get
Yeah.
to control that. Collaboration is not about control. People got that confused.
Mm.
Collaboration is literally about, releasing. Like you trust me to do, what should be done, and I trust you what should be done. And in that trust comes something beautiful. The joint creation. Like, come on.
Such a beautiful thing. And so with the power of five, the idea is to help families to use their gifts in order to work together to create experiences,
Yeah.
experiences not only for themselves, but for other people. And when you operate in your gift, it gives you a different level of joy that can't nobody take away.
Facts.
Improving your mental health, improving your mental health, reflecting on joy and the memory that comes behind experiencing joy. When you practice gratitude, thinking about the things that you are grateful for, tangible and intangible, this connection, this relationship, you being the very first person on this show, man, okay? You challenged me back in 2019. I was supposed to be, we met, I think it's October the 19th, 2019. I did not forget. Was it 19?
Was it 2019 or 2018? I think it was 2019.
I think it was 2019.
Mhm.
But you had challenged me to go ahead and do what I said I was gonna do.
The
Do a
story time.
yeah, story time at the library. I have not done story time at the library yet, but I have done a 6-week book series with my book, The Power of Five.
Yeah.
And I sang just like I sang to y'all when I first came in. I am an experience, my love. I am an experience, and I thank you for showing up for yourself. I thank you for creating space not only for me, but for yourself,
Yeah.
so that your family can relish in the power of your legacy. You deserve to experience that. I deserve to experience I deserve to relish in the power of my legacy. Say that.
I deserve to relish in the power of my legacy.
Take a breath in. Hold it. Think about what that feels like. Think about what relishing in the power of your legacy will feel like, and then let it go. So even when if you're jotting down some of these gems, I want you to also go back and create affirmations with anything that is connected with you, so that you can use that knowledge. You can thrift it. You can
it's gently used to be used again and again and again.
wow.
Come on.
To continue to provide and create completion. It is done. I do it and let it be done. Do it and let it be done. So
yeah, sometimes
what's up?
No, I've been saying like I get to and I want to. Instead of I have to go do this, I get to go do this. And I want to do this. I get to go work out. And I want to work out. I get to push myself and I want to push myself. I get to be consistent and I want to be consistent. I get to have help and I want to be helped.
You see our sister Breonna Taylor back here in the background.
Yeah.
Listen, we ain't forgot it.
Shout out to a real one. Man, what?
This is art.
The legacy she left in order for me to get where I'm at. Man.
Say it again.
The legacy she left in order for me to get to where I'm at.
Tell us about that.
Man, this is me being very honest, transparent, and sane and plain. It took for a Black woman to get killed in her house in order for me to get a sliver of the recognition and the access to the resources that I should have always had.
Should have always been there, regardless. I shouldn't have to work harder.
It took for a life in order for my life to be able to be introduced to really just accessibility that keeps coming up. There wasn't no grant this, or fellowship that, or stipend this, or we support this, or entrepreneurship that, or community building this. It wasn't no none of that. But there's blood on your hands. And that could have very well may have been my blood, right? Because that resonated. Because that could have been me.
It could have been you.
That could have been my cousin. That could have been my favorite, you know what I'm saying? My favorite auntie.
Sister.
That could have been my sister. That could have been my best friend. That could have been my favorite coworker. That could have been somebody who I just liked how they dressed on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know?
It makes a difference.
The fact that it really could have been is what I had to sit in that and realize there is no way that that this cause did not create this effect. And that's just what it is. So why wouldn't I go insane? Why wouldn't I take it there? Because I understand the legacy that she left in order for me to be where I'm at. Like, I owe it, honoring history, but challenging tradition. And the tradition is they had you fucked up. Because you should still be here.
You should still be here.
But since you're not, we're going to take it there. We're going to honor you always because, man, when I light my candles on my ancestral altar, I got 2 tea lights for Breonna every rip. She's posted up. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing.
She inspires me.
Yes.
You know, I didn't. Me as the person that I am, I wasn't in my nature to go out and protest. But I'm like,
Right.
there has to be something else for me to do. So I created, I was allowed in spaces and created space for other people to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Resources, just like you talking about your ancestral altar. I have a and you're talking about art, right? So I've created an opportunity for myself to continue to think about how I'm going to exercise my power.
Yeah.
In order to leave the legacy, in order to, she doesn't have her life and her breath anymore. Gifts died with her. And I don't want my gifts to die within me. And I don't want your gifts to die within you.
Right. Like that was when I decided art is my activism.
Oh,
Art is my activism. Cause you're gonna feel me every time. Cause everything I do is intentional. Everything I do is intentional. You're gonna feel me every time.
You've collaborated with Russell Place of Promise, is that right?
Right. Yep. What did me and Russell Place of Promise have done a few different things, but I think the most recent thing and the most resonating thing that we did was me sitting on their artist advisory committee board for the People Next Door exhibit. Did you get to go see that?
No.
You didn't get to go see for the People Next Door exhibit when it was
Wasn't
down in Kentucky, the African American Heritage Center. You didn't get to. Whoa, it's all right because we gonna manifest that being exhibited elsewhere. It's gonna get picked up because that's
what about the KMAC?
phenomenal. What about the KMAC?
As an option, I don't know.
Oh, you was talking about that. Nah, but we to work with them on that. Art is literally activism because it's a way to amplify a voice in unimaginable and unlimited ways. Whether it's poetry, whether it's photography, whether it's 3D sculpture, whether it's digital art, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's like just anything. It's the same reminders, it's the same encouragement, it's the same affirmations, it's the same stories being told in their own unique way because you can never take away from the validity of it ever. Because this is the story to tell, right? And think about it. If you even think about it when it comes to Breonna Taylor, it's all about the narrative. She shifted the narrative. What took place shifted the narrative. Y'all can't, what once was is no longer. What once was is no longer. It's time for it to be told and for it to be told fully and truthfully and wholeheartedly and organically and intentionally and purposefully. And that's up to us.
Right. And their families and their loved ones have experienced a great deal of trauma.
Right.
Because of this loss of life. And the negative impacts that has. And that they carry this with them every day. So when you feel whatever way you feel, whoever you are out there, we believe you and it's okay. And you can and will make it through it. But you have to decide. I can, I will, I must. And what's so crazy is I told you guys I was a teacher. So I had my students when I was teaching 5th grade. I taught my students, I can, I will, I must, and they would say it every day. And I found a letter that one of my students had written to me. She told me to listen to a song. And she wrote, Ms. Jackson, I apologize for being disrespectful to you, and I don't mean to make things hard for you. Realize she's 10 or 11. I don't mean to make things hard for you. and you inspired me. I will remember, I can, I will, I must. I want you to listen to this song, A Hero Came Along, by Mariah Carey. So I don't have children, but my
That's one
students,
of my favorite songs.
I had no idea. I did not know.
That's my
Listen,
jam.
listen. I love the fact that God has blessed me with a sister in you and a sister friend who holds space, not only for me but for herself, for yourself. So if you are watching, if you're listening, it is important that you become a safe space for yourself. Stealing away just for a moment or two. If you can't get 5, just sit there for a minute.
For that second man.
Right. Just be present. Just be still. Don't touch nothing. Just sit there. Listen to the sounds around you. Listen to your breath. Even putting your hands on your chest. And feel what it feels like to inhale and exhale. And when you exhale, you give that vibrational sigh. Healing is in that vibration. When you write your affirmations, and you say them out loud, put your hands on your chest or your forehead or on your head. Like you have to wake up the cells within you because you want a healing at the cellular level. We ain't talking about surface level healing. No, we're not talking about, and when I say healing, I also mean change, right? So we owe it to Breonna Taylor. We owe it to Travis Nugent. We owe it to David McAtee. We owe it to Dr. Martin Luther King. We owe it to Maya Angelou. And in order to use our gifts, showing up, we have to show up. In order to show up, we have to be present enough by being able to pay attention to what is going on right here and right now, so that when messages come to you, when you see opportunities visually with your eyes, you can take advantages of those opportunities, and you can see the messages and you can hear the messages that you need to hear in order to be able to relish in the power of your legacy. Okay, so art. Art helps people to heal. Doing shadow work where you talk about difficult conversations. And we've done that before during your sessions, and you gave me, I believe you were the first person that I see to do this.
The candle work, yeah.
The candle work, you're the first person that I see to do this. So when I take notes, I take notes like within art. Okay. No, I don't have it. But when I take notes, it looks like art. And I use this candle to do my meditations and to say my affirmations. So it says, I believe I am capable of consistency with my physical activity. I believe, you see my heart. I believe I am capable of healthy food choices. I believe I am capable of home cleanliness, y'all. And I'm grateful for it. And look, seeing the big picture of community connections. Oh man. So with those things, it's important for us to affirm ourselves, right? And that's part of the power of 5. P is practicing gratitude, thinking about the things that you are grateful for, tangible, intangible. O is an optimistic mindset, thinking about what you are looking forward to today, this week, this month, this year, even in your lifetime. W is a wise plan. You can't say that you want to be this artist. You can't say that you want to be the best mother that you can be. You can't say that you want to leave a powerful legacy and don't take the time, the action steps to do it. And then E is exercise. It can be exercising your gifts. It can be physical exercise. It can be, like I said, a breathing exercise or just being still. In the book, there are several different options for you. And then R is reflecting on your greatness in the form of affirmation. We've talked about those. So I want to thank you for showing up for yourselves. Ashlee Phillips, do you have any final moments? I thank you for being on the show. The Power of Legacy with Queen Savannah Sunshine.
Just show yourself grace always, all the ways, right? Limitless grace.
Lean into his grace. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, if you guys are able to join me in Women of Intent, Louisville, Kentucky at 909 East Broadway on Thursdays at 6 or Saturdays at 10, we would love to have you with a group that I am a co-facilitator for called Women of Intent, where we heal intentionally. We would love to have you. We would love to have you in this space for more conversations like this. And I hope that you have a good day. Hello. How you doing today? Welcome to the Power of Legacy podcast with Stephanie Monique Jackson. Join us for a conversation where others and their families are sharing how they are exercising their power while improving and maintaining their mental health.